Is exclusive about Donald Trump disclosing secret information about America's nuclear submarines to a foreigner after he left office. The conversation has been reported to Special Counsel Jack Smith, who is investigating the former president. Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl has the story. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. America's secrets don't get much more sensitive than the details.
It doesn't get any better than this, folks. If you thought things were going to get worse, or if you thought that the situation with Donald Trump could not get any funnier, well, you were wrong. He done did it again. Turns out Trump allegedly disclosed U.S. nuclear subs information after leaving the White House. That's right.
Details of our nuclear arsenal, but that is exactly what Donald Trump allegedly shared with an Australian billionaire at Mar-a-Lago months after he left the White House, according to sources familiar with what that billionaire has now told federal investigators. The Australian billionaire Anthony Pratt has told Special Counsel Jack Smith's team that the former president told him potentially sensitive information about the capabilities of America.
Dude, one billionaire, two faces, baby. You see that shit? Why you snitching, homie? He told you that in confidence. He wanted to look cool, dog. Fucking Aussies, man. He's out here showing you sick, cool stuff, okay? And you're over there talking shit. Immediately snitching to Jack Smith, you fucking piece of shit. We should have never given these guys subs, man. Can't trust them. Can't trust them at all.
Because nuclear submarines.
Cloud sharks everywhere.
Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News. Those sources say Pratt then shared the information with scores of others, including more than a dozen foreign officials, several of his own employees, and a handful of journalists, according to sources familiar with the matter. Pratt joined Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club shortly after Trump became president and was invited to multiple White House events.
Australian entrepreneur Anthony Pratt announced a new $2 billion investment in box-making factories across the United States. But he only did that if Trump won the election, I think. Is that a correct statement, Anthony? Thank you.
Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News the alleged disclosure took place in April of 2021, just months after Trump left the White House. The sources say Pratt told federal investigators that Trump was leaning towards him as if to be discreet, and allegedly shared two critical pieces of information about U.S. submarines: the supposed exact number of nuclear warheads each usually carries, and exactly how close they can supposedly get to a Russian submarine.
I don't understand. I mean, this is so awesome. One, it's awesome because the billionaire is literally a freak, okay? Look at him. He is a decrepit carcass. What is going on in the billionaire world, okay? Like, you can't look like that, man. That's not allowed. That's not normal, bro. That's not normal. Everyone around this guy should have been like, hey, dude, I think you're doing something that, like, God finds really, really fucked up, okay? It seems like God is punishing you for whatever the fuck you're doing. So that's number one, okay? Number two, that part I love. Like, personally, this is the best way to understand that, like, something he has done is an affront to God, okay? Secondly, this story is such a classic Trump showing Kid Diddler Rock attack plans moment. It is pure flex. There is no like, I guess someone is in the pocket of Russia type angle here. He is so obviously just flexing. Okay, he's like, you're a billionaire. I'm a billionaire too. I'm a billionaire who knows about nuclear submarines. You guys want submarines, don't you? It's just like, it is such a classic brag moment. It's so perfectly Trump. I love it.
Anthony is one of the most successful men in the world. Perhaps Australia's most successful man, as they say.
It's unclear if the information Trump allegedly shared with Pratt was accurate, but the sources tell ABC News that the investigators asked Pratt not to repeat it, suggesting it was too sensitive to share. But in fact, the sources say that within minutes of his conversation with Trump ending, the Australian billionaire started telling another guest at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. It's like, can you fucking believe it, mate? He's fucking idiot. He told me I'm at the top of the hour ad break. It's supposed to be fucking confidential, right? He even told me how to fucking avoid it, mate. By subscribing for $5 dues or for free with a Twitch Prime. Not a nuclear submarine, just a gifted Sup? He's the Freeman ad break now. You can't use your accents for evil like that. Shit is cheating. Yeah, well, call me a fucking cheater.
Potential disclosure was uncovered as part of the investigation into Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, although there's no indication that Trump showed Pratt any actual documents. He may not have showed Pratt any.
Oh, in honor of Trump has been accused of disclosing national security secrets so many times that I put together the top 10 instances in which Donald Trump allegedly shared sensitive information for reasons unknown. First of all, that's not true. These are not unknown reasons. These are very known reasons. Every single time Donald Trump has disclosed national security secrets, it is for one reason and one reason only: flexing. That's it. You don't have to go further than that. He is so black and white. He is so simple. Does the top of the hour ratings bot even exist still? It does. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe we broke it because it was such a highly rated 9.18. 277 chatters. In May 2017, Trump said a bit too much about nuclear submarines during a chat with the then Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. In July 2019, Trump had a sensitive conversation with Ambassador Gordon Sondland while Sondland was in a Ukrainian restaurant. A former senior director of the White House Situation Room said soon after, the security ramifications are insane. Donald Trump mishandled sensitive information with such frequency that I was able to put together a top 10 list a couple weeks ago. Okay. Number 8, secret. This secret information. Look at this. Trump was recorded adding, "Isn't that incredible? It's so cool." This was, of course, first disclosed as a CNN exclusive, if you remember. On February 2017, Trump discussed sensitive details about North Korea's ballistic missile tests with the Prime Minister of Japan at a Mar-a-Lago dining area in view of wealthy civilians and customers. RIP. His secret is now safe when you think about it. Except, no, it wasn't, because Trump did this shit all the fucking time. Number 6, in early October 2019, Trump publicly discussed American nuclear weapons in Turkey, something the U.S. officials have long avoided disclosing and or confirming. This, of course, is the major reason why the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. But, of course, American authorities refused to acknowledge that and still teach the Cuban Missile Crisis as Russia, or the USSR, overextending its hand and being imperialist, even though the original reason for why it happened to begin with was literally because there were military bases in Turkey, a NATO ally, that had nuclear weapons directed towards the USSR. That came first. That is the reason why the USSR then did the same in Cuba. In August 2019, Trump published, so he's based for that. In August 2019, Trump published a tweet about a failed Iranian rocket launch, which included a sensitive surveillance photo. This was pretty fire. A NATO ally that literally shared a good-sized border with the USSR. Exactly. So tell me again, bro, tell me you would mention the secrets you learned to random people first day in office. I'm going to the archives and learning who killed JFK, if we really landed on the moon, who killed Biggie. I'm sharing that everywhere. You think that those are accessible? Get out of here. There's no shot. There is absolutely 0% chance that the president can find out about that level of information. It doesn't matter how high your security clearance is. Some things are still kept secret, even from presidents, in my opinion, or misplaced or shredded. Yeah, I do not believe, I've said this before, I said maybe the CIA will declassify JFK assassination details, but I don't think they will. I think I'm wrong on that front. I don't think they ever will. I don't think we'll ever know. In early October, Trump publicly discussed American nuclear weapons in Turkey. We covered that just now. On August 2019, Trump published a tweet about a failed Iranian rocket launch, which included sensitive surveillance photo. He just revealed that. He leaked it. He was like, yeah, we are looking at you. We can see what you're doing. In October 2019, Trump needlessly blurted out all kinds of highly classified or tactically sensitive tactical operational details about the al-Baghdadi mission in Syria. Not even a matter of opinion. There's literally a need-to-know protocol. But this even goes beyond the need-to-know protocol. I am a firm believer that there is certain aspects of black budget operations that even the president never hears about, even if he is on a need-to-know basis. A lot of these, even inside of the Defense Department, not necessarily just the CIA, but independent agencies have their own operational procedures. Independent agencies always all have separate budgets. And not only that, but also this even exists in the Defense Department, as you guys know, which the president should know everything that they're doing. You have JSOC operations. And on top of that, you have, what is it? How many trillions of dollars? We still don't know. We can't do an audit in the fucking Pentagon. We cannot audit the American military. We just simply cannot. It is a money sink. It's just, this is a known thing. Every now and again, a fresh congressman will try to make a name for themselves by going after the budget of the DoD and then suspiciously get real quiet about it a few months later. In 2020, Trump disclosed the existence of a secret nuclear weapons program to Bob Woodward, to the surprise of national security insiders. And then at number 2, in 2021, Trump allegedly shared classified information about American nuclear submarines with an Australian billionaire. We come to the last one. The disclosures, the New York Times reporter, potentially endangered U.S. nuclear fleet. And at number 1, just 4 months into Trump's presidency, he revealed highly classified information to Russian officials visiting the Oval Office at Putin's request for reasons that have never been explained. I will tell you why. A flex. Every single one, top to bottom. I know this one. I know this last one. You think, oh, it's because he's like Pootie Poo, right? He's in the pocket of Pootie Poo. They're like butt buddies. Like they have gay sex or whatever, right? No, I think just a flex. Okay, dude, have you heard that? How many people have said that? Mr. President, Trump is very smart. Have you maybe considered that he is much more smart than you and he's making and doing plans that you cannot even comprehend? Yeah. The P-tape era is a wild era. I know. It is a wild era. So, yeah, that's what we got on Trump and his lack of interest in maintaining any sort of composure when dealing with incredibly sensitive, classified information. He is kind of the GOAT at that. That top 10 list also did not feature, wasn't Donald Trump also responsible for like a bunch of agents dying, both in China and also elsewhere, because he was, again, very careless. Like Mar-a-Lago was seen as the place if you wanted to get access to highly sensitive, highly classified information, because he would just like literally talk about this shit in broad daylight. So like this stuff is documented, but there's plenty more that we are not even aware of. They just straight up had a fuck ton of Chinese spies, Russian spies, spies from all different corners of the world chilling at Mar-a-Lago and just listening in to everything that they were saying, which, for the record, of course you're going to do that. Like, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you fucking do that? The president's a goddamn dumbass. Like, why would you not do that? You think we, who created the greatest, most invasive spy network and apparatus leading up to the dissolution of the USSR, would not fucking do the same thing in China if we could, which some might even say we had a spy network in China. They're all dead now. They all died under the Trump administration, by the way. Trump, much like Richard Nixon, has carried on that tradition of being very pro-China, it seems, in unimaginable ways. He really is the most generous man in the world, yeah.
Documents, but this gets to how Trump handled classified information, which is central to that special counsel investigation into his handling of classified documents. We reached out to Donald Trump for a response on this. They did not deny our story, but a spokesperson for the former president said that it, quote, lacks proper context and relevant information, adding that Trump, quote, did nothing wrong. We also reached out to Anthony Pratt. No comment from him, George.
Okay, John, thanks very much.
Wow. Anthony Pratt, why don't you want to speak now? It seems like you didn't have a problem speaking immediately after Trump shared a very important secret with you within earshot of the motherfucking president. But all of a sudden, when the media comes knocking down your door and asking you questions, you're like, oh, no comment, mate. I love that part of the story. I love that part of the story where it's like he immediately revealed the information. Like immediately. As soon as the conversation was done, he was like, oh, okay, time to recite everything verbatim within minutes. Which, by the way, of course you're going to do that. Why the fuck wouldn't you? You'd be like, the president just told me about nuclear submarines, dog. This shit's crazy. I would do the same exact fucking thing. Two things, okay? I would 100% be exactly like Donald Trump in that position. I would be telling everyone and anyone all of the fucking super sweet secrets that I have found out, because I too have a kid brain just like he does. And if I was on the receiving end of those secrets, I would yap so fast your head would spin. I'd be like, this fucking idiot. Can you imagine this fucking dumbass, the president, he just told me about nuclear submarines? That's crazy. Anyway,